these brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. Oh, these brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Paul with Spheric Reptiles, and I wanted to make a funny video for you. I hope it's a funny video or a fun video. And the question is, which is better? So which is better? A boa constrictor or a ball python? I mean, they're probably the two most commonly kept snakes. Well, I mean, I say that. I mean, but these are all from morph market numbers. Of course, ball pythons are kept in such high numbers. But there's a lot of boa constrictor keepers as well as colubrid keepers. So there's a lot of king snakes, corn snakes, and things like that. But I'm just going to limit it to the boa constrictors and the ball pythons. This is Casey Bunny. He doesn't even hiss anymore, and he's actually grown quite a bit since we picked him up, I guess 3 months ago. Just feeding him every other week. Either, you know, he'll get either a wean rat or he'll get a jumbo mouse. I mean, that's the one good thing about boa constrictors, but you can see the pattern that he has here. I'm going to discuss the things about the boa constrictors first, and then I'll discuss the things with the ball pythons for their advantages. But I like them both. And so that's why I put the question out there, which one do you think is best? Because there could actually be a better snake. Like the boa constrictor might be better than the ball python as a pet, or the ball python might be better than the boa constrictor. I'm just going to leave it up to you guys, because I think that's the way it works anyway, right? I mean, that's why we go and vote. But again, this is an IMG Hypo Motley. That's double head for VPI and anery type 1. I just really like him as a pet, even though we definitely breed ball pythons. But whenever I think about it, this kind of shoots me back to the types of snakes that I kept before. Even though I did have some ball pythons, they just weren't as popular of a pet. And they were a little bit pricier. Yeah, normal ball pythons cost about the same as Burmese pythons in the 90s. So if you wanted a snake, then most likely you got a big snake or you got a boa constrictor, which was about $150 back then. So it was still quite a bit for then. I guess with inflation and everything, that's about like 800 bucks now, right? One good thing about them is that it's a snake. So it gets big enough to say that it's a snake, but it's gentle enough. I mean, if you care for it, they can't have a feeding response, but it's gentle enough so that as it gets bigger, it kind of grows on you and it doesn't max out. Like this is a male, so he'll probably max out at around 8 feet over the course of his lifetime. But if we just keep handling him, he'll stay this docile. He doesn't even hiss anymore when I get him out of the cage. I guess because now I'm the food guy, and he just, every time he gets out, he knows that he's going to get held for at least 30 minutes. And he's going to try to investigate and squirm around. I hope he doesn't try to go up my sleeve or anything, but that's what he normally does. He normally looks for somewhere to hide. What I really do love about the boa constrictors is their characteristic stealthy look. They're always moving forward. Rarely will you see a boa constrictor retreat, whether it's around food or anything else. Now, if they're in shed, they might, but typically boa constrictors are very easy to keep. They're kept at around the same temperatures, anywhere from 85 degrees to 90 degrees. They do take a little bit longer to reach sexual maturity, but you know, what are we talking about here? You know, it's still, you plan on having your snake for the duration of their life anyway, I hope. So if it takes 3, 4, 5 years, it doesn't matter. Just make sure that you're not overfeeding them, so you don't want a fat snake. And that's something that, you know, you really don't think about a lot, but you should. Another good thing about boa constrictors is they are housed easily when they're juveniles. Now, as with all larger species, when they get bigger, that's when you'll start to run into the difficulty. You can't just throw them in anything because they're so strong that they could break out. So you have to either get a vision cage, a neoadhesive plastic cage, a custom cage. You have to get something that can withstand the force of an animal just applying pressure on it, which is why we have these tubs back here now for the ball pythons, the bigger ones. It's just it's a gasket style tub that clips in 6 ways. You've seen Casey Bunny's bioactive enclosure. So, but another thing that I really do love about boa constrictors is that they always eat. And that's a thing that's not, it's just not boa constrictors. It's just that the environment that they are native to, that's one of the things that has not been bred out of them, is that they're always looking for food, because in the areas where they live, it's kind of hard to catch food. I mean, it's just not like things are just running upon you. And the things that are, they could probably eat you. So, and that's why their coloration is the way that it is. One of the things that is a limiting factor is most boa constrictors are a brown color or some sort of pattern like that, or they're albino. You don't find a huge diversity in colors, but to me, that only adds to the character because I really do like animals the way they look in their natural environments. Now, Colombian boa constrictors or boa constrictor, they have a lot of different pattern morphs. There are a lot of, locale boa constrictors that do not. So Surinams, true red tails, Argentine boas, they are all pretty much the same. You might have some with more pinks or not, but you're not going to find like a, I don't know, like a G-striped boa constrictor. But, that's just something that we talk about. So now I'll talk about the other sides of it. Now, it does get a little bit bigger. Boa constrictors can get, like I said, the males can get up to 8 feet. Females can technically get up to about 11 feet. But that's a really old, mature male and adult. But just take a look. This is Casey Money. And I want you guys to let me know what other things that you know or that you love about boa constrictors. And now I'll go into ball pythons. So now that I've talked about boa constrictors, I'll talk about ball pythons. And this is one of my favorite ball pythons in our collection. She's a bamboo inchy calico ball python. Has 3 incomplete dominants, no recessives. She is the least like a native species of ball pythons. I almost said boa constrictor, right? But, so she is about 1.5 years old. Still not trying to power feed or anything. This is the size that she would normally get. She eats a wean rat every other week or every week, depending on what I want to do. Typically, I don't want to overfeed them, so I just kind of slow down the way that I feed them and not trying to power feed them. And it seems like they're a lot more healthy and a lot more active. They stay relatively small, so the males max out about 3, maybe 4 feet, and the females, if you don't overfeed them and they're housed correctly, they'll top out around 6 to maybe 7 feet at the most. They live about the same amount of life. Their lifespan is about the same as with the boa constrictor. So you're looking at anywhere from 20 to about 40 something years, 40 something. What else do I love about ball pythons? Because I really do. The high amount of pattern variability. That's the one thing that I can say is that you can get the exact ball python in color that you want, and then you can choose male or female, whether you want a 3-foot or a 6-foot animal. You do the same with the other species as well, but 8 foot is still a big snake. So it's not like you can say 8-foot snake is a small snake, but you can say a 3-foot snake is a lot smaller than a 6-foot snake. 3-foot snakes, this is about 3 foot right here. So that's what you got. The one other good thing about ball pythons is that they are so readily available that it's the ease of getting one is very, very easy and very, very simple, and you wouldn't have to pay a whole lot for a ball python nowadays because there's over at least 50,000 on the market on any given day, and that's worldwide. It might actually be more than that worldwide. That's probably the U.S. I didn't look at Morph Market this time because, I look at Morph Market so much that, Lynn calls it snake porn. You're always watching snake stuff all the time, watching people's stuff and deciding on what we're going to buy. But since we kind of cooled that off a little bit, so now I don't watch as much of the snake stuff. But one thing that is a little bit difficult with ball pythons, I think, and I'm not going to say it's a negative, is that when they go through that, I guess, puberty stage, when they go from adolescent to an adult, I'm just going to say that that's a big jump, around 800 to 1,000 grams when they start really trying to do that. The males go a little bit before that because, they're smaller, so they go through it a little bit faster. And I think that's something that happens in the wild. But the females typically will go off of food around 800 to 1,000 grams. And sometimes it's a little discouraging, but for me, I'm just like, whoo, that's all right with me, man. It's one less to try to come out of the cage. I'm just kidding. They don't all come out of the cage. But yeah, so sometimes they go off of food. They lay eggs, whereas boa constrictors have viviparous or live births. And that's a little bit difficult to remove those babies from a boa constrictor, as I've seen. Whereas it can be difficult to remove eggs from a ball python as well. I haven't seen that because I just don't have a fear like that. So I would just reach right in and get them. But just really an amazing animal, especially whenever I take them out, because I hold my snakes all the time. Whenever I do, I really just look at them and I really enjoy their beauty, whether it's a boa constrictor or a ball python. But I am interested in what you think about either one. Ball pythons are easy to house as well. You know, you've seen them stored in everything from shoe boxes to, you know, full-blown bioactive enclosures, and most likely for breeders in a rack system. And if an animal breeds, it's not stressed out. So, you know, that's it. I just wanted to make this quick video. I don't know if this is quick or not, but we'll see. I'll edit it down. But please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm definitely interested in knowing what you think. And as always, guys, enjoy the time that you spend with your reptiles and enjoy the time that you have with your family.